Hi, welcome to the Artful 3D Presentation Workshop, Empowerment Week. This training is specifically structured for design architects and students just like you. This event only happens twice a year, and if you're an aspiring designer, then you are at the right place and at the right time. Hi, I'm Jason Josselson, the Concept Design Architect. For the last 17 years, I've worked as a design architect, producing concept proposals for several prestigious commercial firms globally, generating millions of dollars in startup capital. I've always pioneered technology whilst producing design and presentation for many large-scale architectural projects that encompass retail, mixed use, industrial, residential, and hospitality. My primary goal has been to design, launch, and win new projects and communicate these ideas to clients using compelling methods. In the beginning of my career as a design architect, I always struggled with my time and expressing my 3D models. My days would be stressful enough trying to meticulously resolve my designs. I became enslaved to my rendering processes, and sometimes it took longer to render than to design. This is when I proactively took a stance to find an easier method. This is our third video, and I think you're going to love it. Thank you for all the comments and feedback. The response has been overwhelming. Now, if you've missed the first two videos in the series, I highly recommend you stop right now and go and watch them. They really are required viewing for anyone who wants to transform their presentation skills from average to exceptional. I want you to get the full value of this workshop, so you should really go back to the previous two videos in order to get an overview of what I am teaching. In the first video, we covered how the design architect needs to meet with the client several times during the design process, accompanied by 3D perspectives to communicate his design. We then took a peek at the rendering industry from a bird's eye view and discovered which other techniques exist out there and why some may be inefficient. We looked at alternative methods of rendering, including our usual standard image exports, which leave us with average results. After this process, we explored natural hand rendering techniques where architects need to rely on extreme talent or lengthy training to achieve maximum results. Finally, we explored the artful rendering technique, where I explained why the streamlined approach gives a stressed out architect the cutting edge. In the second video, we drilled down deep into the actual hybrid rendering workflow, which is part of our process, and looked at how all these pieces fit together from modeling right through to the finished product of layout. Most architects, when they've completed their renderings for projects, are faced with presenting their work to a client. It is traditional for architects to use mixed media in the form of print and digital. Every firm has its own style of presentation. However, what most architects don't consider is their work is a powerful passive marketing tool. Whatever technique you may be using, I believe there is one extremely powerful medium that should accompany each client meeting, and that is the A3 tabloid brochure. It is this medium that has always helped me communicate the design most effectively. The white of the thick matte or glossy paper, together with the high-resolution full-color laser-printed image from our artful presentation process, is a winning mixture of image and medium. It is the same method of using the tabloid-sized paper together with the artful rendering technique that I used to create my own portfolio. The combination of the A3 tabloid-sized paper together with the artful renders and layouts create an enriched look and feel because of the transparency of the white of the paper filtering through. These two combinations create an extremely powerful tool when trying to sell your design to the client. Hi there, fellow design architects, and what I normally do is I create different portfolios as the time goes on of my work. Every time I do a project, I hook it up into a brochure, and this is the type of brochure that we are looking at. It's steel bound. I like to use a silver binding. You can use a white or black binding, but as you can see in the front of my brochure, I have this transparency, and it's stock standard when you go to the printer. But what's really amazing is when you take a look at these images, they've got a certain luminescence because the page behind them comes through. But also what you need to realize is that the type of paper that I'm using is a thicker grammage paper. There are different thicknesses that you can go for. So you can ask your printer, when you do print out onto paper, that you want a thicker grammage, and it doesn't matter if it's matte or gloss, both will look really incredibly beautiful. And also just to take a look at some of the detail in the scheme. So here's another angle of one of the shopping entrances that we've done, and you can see on the paper it just really comes to life. This is kind of exactly what I'm speaking about when there's a certain tangibility to the viewer. So the client will really find this impactful, and you can see the luminescence of the white paper coming through in the background, and it just really creates the most unbelievable effect. And it's just something that is unique to this type of style of drawing. This is a shopping center. It's really just a couple of colors, some shadows, but you can see there's an immense amount of detail that happens, and you can soften up the image as well. It's just an incredible way to present. And this also prints really nicely on an A0, A1, which is the large format plan printers. You can just get the most amazing visuals out of them. Sorry, this is an open air shopping mall, and just a fantastic look and feel as well. You can see there's a hell of a lot of detail in these drawings. The white of the page is coming through. Here we go. Here's an interior sort of conceptual design that I did for a mall. This is a food court, and you can see also extremely compelling the white of the paper coming through. We've got some black and white perspectives here, just indicative of the space, and then the interior shots here, which are obviously layered in Photoshop with the stacking effect. Here's an urban design, also printed on A3 tabloid, just looks fantastic. You can see the power of the actual drawing coming through when you zoom in. This is high detail, this is high resolution, and when the client sees this on an A3 tabloid piece of paper, he really gets excited. You can see there's an extreme amount of detail that gets created, this complexity from the line work, absolutely fantastic imagery, and then you collage it together on a page, and it looks extremely, extremely, extremely powerful.
So just to recap, in the first video, we looked at how to achieve the best results when we need to render quickly. We looked at other methods that were inefficient and gave us less than desirable results. Some were extremely powerful, but extremely time-consuming. We discovered the artful method, which is accessible for most architects. It is this method that can be used to empower the architect to be exceptional at producing a compelling perspective in shorter times. Then finally, we looked at the best way to present our artful rendering to achieve maximum feedback from an individual brochure or when it comes to presenting our portfolio. But now we shift the focus onto you and how to empower you with this new skill set and workflow. Just like the famous quote from Vincent van Gogh, if you hear a voice within you say, "You cannot paint," then by all means paint, and let that voice be silenced. So the next step in the process is how you will learn these skills to build yourself an artful rendering workflow. I want to focus on empowering you to learn the artful rendering technique to produce for yourself a magnificent portfolio which will include a residential and commercial scheme. I wish to guide you in bite-sized chunks how to take actionable steps to accomplish the exact same presentation results that I have achieved in my work over the years. My aim is to completely duplicate my workflow and skill set and leave you with a full imprint of these skills so that you can use these methods over and over again. The projects we will render together will belong to you and will be a masterpiece in your portfolio. Besides having my guidance, you will be part of a live interactive community where we will learn together at the same time and embark on a few mini projects to achieve the results we are after. There is just too much to show, and there are huge gaps in the training that still need to be filled. I have revealed to you a workflow in this training that has taken me many years to refine. I have condensed this information into just a few small videos this week. I have given you the overall picture, but it has been impossible for me to explain every nuance. I may have overloaded you with too much information, but now what I want to do, now that you have the big idea, I want to hold your hand and take you through this process, one step at a time. The doors are open for my training, the Artful Sketch-like Render Masters Program. The training will explode your existing presentation skills, enabling you to create for yourself final perspective imagery that will help you express your design intentions to your client in an amazing, artful way. So this is what you'll get, a 6-week training with step-by-step tutorials in bite-sized chunks explaining how to render commercial and residential scheme with the Artful Render technique. I will also supply you with all the models that are needed. I will also give you access to my SketchUp Entourage library that will help you embellish your perspectives with transportation, people, trees, cars, and furniture. I will give you access to my own Photoshop templates to use and download for your own work and mini projects. You will get private community access to the inner circle where we will collaborate with designers just like you within the group. This is the best part, as you won't be alone. You'll be part of a small intimate community of learning, and you'll get feedback from me as well as others in the group. Community is a major aspect to design growth. By having a live group, you will have maximum feedback, reducing feeling isolated. I will be offering bonuses. In bonus 1, I'll be live for 1 hour every Tuesday for questions and answers and guidance together with our group. In bonus 2, I'll be offering a basic skills to jumpstart SketchUp. I will be showing you quickly how to get up and running with the software. If you haven't already experienced SketchUp, this is what you'll need to get started. In bonus 3, I'll be showing you how to get going with Photoshop. I'll be showing the tools we will need to use for the Artful Render process. In bonus 4, we'll take a look at how to render an interior scene. Future benefits will include saving thousands of dollars in your own time. So if this process resonates with you and you want to become a master at communicating your 3D design with the sketch-like render process by leveraging the power of mentorship, community, and critique feedback, then I suggest that we should talk. Over the next 5 days, I've set up some time to talk and meet with you to see if we can empower you and get you to your goals. We will have a 45-minute session on Zoom. Everybody has Zoom. We will start by diagnosing your current situation. Then we'll see if our coaching program will work for you. Sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. I'll be totally honest and upfront about that. Then I will also map out an action plan to get you super skilled in the next few weeks and to equip you with the tools to blow your clients away. This will be the most valuable 45 minutes that you will invest in your design business this year. Who is this for? Design architects, interior and building designers, and students of architecture who are currently working and learning in the design industry. It's for teams of commercial designers that currently work in larger studios and that need to communicate their designs fast to win clients. It is also for the small independent architectural practice that is trying to kickstart new and old business. It is also for those individuals that are in pursuit of an amazing artistic ability to create artful sketch-like renders for the built environment. This technique can also be used for students who wish to communicate their work at design school, either at college or university. This can also be used for visualization artists that wish to offer other design firms a new render process. Remember, this is a super quick method. It is also important to note that this training is a financial investment and is not a $500 training course. The return on investment will overshadow the outlay. So if this sounds like you and you want to actually leverage a super powerful workflow from someone who has actually been doing this for the last 18 years, if you want to scale your business without the normal stresses associated to preparing 3D images for client meetings, and if you want to have an amazing time meeting other like-minded people across the world in our design community that are trying to do the same thing, then head on over to the conceptdesignarchitect.com/book or click the button that is below this video. You'll be taken to a very quick questionnaire to share some important information about yourself and your current situation. When you head on to the calendar, please find a time and day that works for you. Then once you've booked in, you'll be shown a program overview video, and I will personally walk you through the entire content, including all the training and how it all works and comes together. This will also be included in the brochure with case studies, testimonials, and frequently asked questions. And then within the next 5 days, we'll simply hop on a call together and to see if what we do is a good fit for you. If it is, we will start working together right away and help you leverage this powerful tool to exceed your clients' expectations and to help you win projects. This will be the most important 45 minutes that you'll invest in your design business this year, guaranteed. So the next step is to head on over to the conceptdesignarchitect.com/book or click the button below this video and let's talk.
It was really beneficial in terms of artistic touch, because usually what we do when we use Revit or AutoCAD, we lack the touch, the artistic feeling and artistic touch of the presentation and the perspectives. So you feel you bring them to life. So you're showing basically the same product, but the presentation and the first impression makes a lot of difference. It was really a success to me.
I had to redesign an interior space and exterior space for that, and I used some of the skills that you taught to be able to create an interior space to reflect what I thought it should look like. And the crowd appreciated it very much. They were very happy to see it live that way. So I'm very, very grateful for this course. I think it is.
But I remember thinking, like, you know what? It would be great if I could find a method to do this that would pull all this information and all these great aspects of all these programs together to do what I needed to do, because no one program can do it. Basically, it's not invented yet. You know, I've taken it from that initial process all the way through, and I've produced the renderings that are compelling. And that's exactly what I set out to do, using this hybrid method and pulling these two together. I mean, I've been looking at this for 25 years. And honestly, taking this course has been invaluable to me because it's probably saved me 25 years from having to figure it out on my own. And quite simply, the hybrid method, this course that you've taught, is almost like a wish list.
You're doing all the modeling things and everything, and then you have like oh my God, like a few hours to show the client what you did, and you cannot show like just a 3D image from ArchiCAD. You can, but okay. That's why I'm so grateful for this course.
You get involved in the practice and you don't really have that collaborative network. You know, you can go to AIA and stuff and you can network with your buddies, but you're probably not doing design and networking. So I'm excited about the opportunities that this course provides. I'm probably going to be doing an apartment building, and to get that done, I'm definitely going to need this course.
I thought the whole experience, you know, as I mentioned, I didn't know anything about SketchUp, and I haven't used Photoshop in a million years. And just the process that you put us through, I thought was really awesome. And it made me, by the time I got to the end, look at your work and go, Jesus, the work's amazing. You know, so what you're doing is great. And I think what you're doing, helping everybody all over the world, because the class was so diversified, was really something, you know?
Actually, not so much a question as a big thank you. And if you haven't taken the master class, I would wholeheartedly encourage you to do so and endorse Jason and his class. It's been fantastic. It's opened my eyes up. I've used SketchUp for quite some time and Photoshop, but he opens up the possibilities beyond what you may know, and turns it really into that artful render, softening the renderings, communicating better. So a wholehearted endorsement for Jason and his class.
Personally, I had a bit of experience with SketchUp, not a lot, a little bit, but you were using it in a completely different way. And it was very, very easy to pick up. Your course was very, the steps were very easy, it was very methodical, and it builds up those steps in a gradual way, and was just very clear, I thought. So I think I would have advised anybody that was new to it all to have, you know, no fears whatsoever, just go for it. It's very, very easy to pick up, and you'll soon get the grasp of it very, very quickly.
I'm an architect. I've been practicing for over 40 years at this point. Quite some time. And in terms of the Artful Render course, I found it just amazing. I mean, it really blew me away, learning some fairly accessible techniques, putting them together in a strategic way, and coming up with imagery that I think really helps sell the ideas. Where as architects, I feel like we often get way too focused on the building itself, the technical issues. You know, the client says, I want a swimming pool on the roof, and we go, okay, now I got to think about how to keep everything watertight, et cetera, et cetera. Where this kind of gets back to the idea that we're really selling ideas, especially initially, when the client comes to us with a problem, with a site, and says, this is the program I want to accommodate. You know, we want to bring our best creative efforts to that, for the best possible solution. And I just felt like the Artful Render technique gives me a whole new set of tools to approach that part of the process and really describe and sell the idea to the client. So yeah, I would say anybody who's got any kind of experience, certainly with 3D software, be it Revit, ArchiCAD, whatever, or certainly SketchUp, this course will be fun. It's really a no-brainer. It's very graspable.
I found this very helpful, very useful. I think it's a pretty powerful method, and I'll just keep practicing and hopefully get better. And further, I think it lets a client bring something from their own imagination. You know, you give them a pretty evocative image, but is that brick or is that concrete? I'm not sure. I don't know, but it looks really good. And then the client can bring a little something from their own imagination to it.
It was a great course, and it was more of a refresher for me for the Photoshop part, because it's been a long time since I used it, and the tools and just the techniques of how to apply and how to adjust and just make it work in a couple minutes instead of keep going back to the 3D and get the same results. So that was really, really nice and really great to learn.
And I thought it was great. I really liked the sense of community. It's nice to have a group that you can share with and get some feedback. And yeah, I was really looking for a new technique. I traditionally am more of the photorealistic kind of renderer, and so you know, I always really like the more artistic, sketchy style, and I was really excited to find a workflow to produce that's easy and that I don't have to overthink. So I was really, really pleased.
I'm still like a training architect right now. So it's actually cool that like I could see like the perspective of like really like the architects who really already working on this project and all that. I actually learned from them. Like that's why I said, oh, this is really like nice. That like it, like how do they work? Like how do they see like presenting their stuff? So it's actually really cool. And then also this course, like because like in my work, we do proposals, and it's always like quickly you have to like produce this type of stuff, and then like also, as Jason said, like the hyper realistic like renders would like make the clients think that like, oh, is this like what you guys are gonna produce already, or it's already a final product, and it's actually just like really on the conceptual stage still. And like that's what I like about this like the course like Jason produced. Like it's really like it's just still a conceptual stage that like, and it's really at that stage it's already like looking great. But like it's really cool. Like I like the course a lot. I would like actually recommend it to like my colleagues to like learn it. I think it will help them like with their like workflow, because like I don't want to spend also like my nights like doing this, because I have a growing family. Like
good to get away from the photorealistic images that take forever to produce. Yeah, and you do come up with something that's a lot. I like the sketchier architectural looks. Like a lot of people, I have a lot of issues with giving a client something and then they think that's the done deal. Yeah, they're expecting to see that with a completed project. So yeah. This takes that away from it and gives them a fuzzier feel that it's an architecturally produced.
If you have found value in watching this video, you're welcome to reach out to me on Messenger or via the link embedded in the comments below. I'm super excited to meet you and to see if we can find a way forward to streamline your existing 3D design and presentation skills. See you then. So let's talk. Book a time with me for a 45-minute complimentary transformation session. Use this link or click the link below.